Hello everyone and welcome back to some Stoneblock. I'm riding right on the tails of last episode and we are going to go straight into now hopefully the collection automation, but we're going to first start off with our cow situation. So the cows are a little bit different, right? In terms of the setup, they're completely different and whatever else. We have, as I guess a bonus thing of this whoa. Are we out? No way. We are. How is that possible? Somehow we're outstripped. What? How is that possible? Oh man, that's funny. I don't know what's going on. It shouldn't. I don't understand. It's somehow outstripping our production capability with one casting basin, but I'm confused. I'm confused as to why that's I honestly am not sure why this is happening. I don't think this should be happening, but for whatever reason it's going, I'm not going to ask questions. We're going to leave it be. I don't want to mess with it. Anywho, so we have ourselves a whole bunch of cows, and then we have even more in terms of the infinity cows. So the question now becomes, how will I like to set up the cow system? And I think we're going to keep it to where it is right now in terms of the way that it's generally set up, but we're going to adjust a couple of things here and there. Now, we're going to be doing something very, very similar to what we've done with the chickens over there. We haven't done it yet, but we'll be doing something very similar in terms of that. But let's first start off with getting this, the kind of general collection system sorted out, and then we'll go from there. I am a little confused as to why this cow stall is empty. I don't know. I have zero idea as to why that is the way it is. I'm not going to worry about organizing these actually, which I know some people are going to be like, gasp, why would you do this? But we're not going to really worry about that because I don't really see the purpose of worrying about that. I will, however, go get my stuff that we put away during the build of last time because that would probably be advisable. Okay, yes, okay, so, all right, perfect. Even though, like, a lot of this is stuff that, honestly, I don't really need to worry about, like the builder and the lever and all this other stuff. Yeah, we'll do something like this, maybe, perhaps, possibly, I don't know. A little bit confused. I thought I had a flux point on me. I guess I put it away at some point. All right, and by put it away, I mean it probably got like evaporated into nothingness. All right, so we have all this stuff. Time to get this all rolling. We're gonna start this off by doing our collection thing, right? So what I would like to do is I would like to make multiple of these black hole tanks. They seem to be pretty darn good. Now I am going to run into a problem here almost certainly. Was I smart enough to have done this? Yes, I was. God bless. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if I actually did that. All right. So we have these black hole tanks now. As an accident, as part of whenever I did the second floor and stuff like that, I also was like, I don't have the fluid conduits from Ender.io. It turns out I did. I just didn't realize I did. So if I had looked up fluid conduit like normally, I would have been like, oh, it's right there, but I didn't see it. So I was like, I need to make a fluid conduit. And I was like, oh, Ender fluid conduit. That should be that. That should be right. So I made these. It's not what I should not have done this. It was not, this was not what I was supposed to have made. But we're going to go ahead and use these for now because this should be perfectly fine. It's instant teleportation, so I would imagine it's pretty good. But we're going to go ahead and roll with this. Now, this part is actually going to be debatably actually better or easier than what we'll be doing with the chickens. But we're going to basically just put these ender conduits down. I suppose we will move the cow halter because that doesn't particularly make sense. And then we're going to go ahead and have these extract only. Oh, I am also 100% going to need a wrench. If I don't have a wrench for here, we will have very, very bad times. We will go from having an okay time to a horrifically bad time. All right, so let's go ahead and do that for, whoops. Well, let's not do it that way, but let's go ahead and do this for the rest of the little cows. I don't want to do that. I was thinking like, maybe I could just like fly above and hold down control while holding down another button and another button. Nope, bad idea. Never works out the way I hope it will. All right, now you might be thinking to yourself, Choco, this seems incredibly sketchy. Like, I thought the whole point was that you're trying to get this to have some degree of organization, and like, yeah, the wrench may help, but this is not going to really help you. Are you just going to throw this into an ME system? How's this going to work? The idea is that we're going to use different storage devices that are better suited for capturing all that liquid, aka we're going to be using the black hole tanks to store them, and then we want the ME system to talk to it. Now, whether or not I do this well, it's a different question, but we're going to experiment with this and I'm going to see it. Because again, I'm kind of using this series to also learn a little bit more about those mods that I sort of might have neglected for all eternity. And so that is, I'm pretty keen on doing that. I'm still not entirely sure why those are empty, like why that one pen is empty. Let me get the one cow stall. I think this is actually meant to be the initial, this was meant to be the Infinity Cows stall, but you know, obviously never came to pass. But anywho, I'll set this up anyways, as if there was going to be a cow in here. Who knows? Maybe I'll want this as like a secondary thing. Never know. Never can be too sure. All right, so put those down, and we're just going to go all the way around. Now, for those of you who are not too familiar with how AE2 works, they do have the ability to talk to each other, right? In terms of like, they can look at something outside of it. It doesn't have to pull it into its own inventory. The reason why we're really, really carefully trying to avoid getting them to go into the inventory of the AE2 system is that let's take one of our like smaller, earlier tier cows. They will create a ton of fluid, and I don't want that to all get stuck somewhere and, you know, suddenly it starts clogging up our ME system, and I'm starting to lament like, oh, what am I going to do with all this fluid that's floating around? The idea is that hopefully by using the black hole tanks and stuff, it won't be quite as bad. The black hole tanks, of course, they have a ridiculous capacity. So if I were to look over here at the black hole tank, you can see that it can have a capacity of 2,147,000,000, which far outstrips what the ME system can hold. Even, I don't know if there's an extra cells thing for fluid, but even if there were, I don't think it would compete. So that is a pretty solid argument, in my opinion, for why that would be something that we, like why this is important for us to do. This should also make it so if I ever were to, for whatever reason, need to expand the storage, which again, I have zero idea as to what could possibly require us to do that, but let's assume that there was some bizarre reason as to like, oh, we need more storage. It's easily expandable. I can easily make this work. This will also be my first foray into, oh, that's why I got the cow holder out, right? We have to go retrieve our Zephyrium thingy. I'll do that in a little bit. All right, so there we go. Now I do want to migrate those cows over to here, and then I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Let me go get that cow before I forget, because I will 100% forget. I'm also quite keen on doing this for the very simple reason of, oh, I took the cow stall for that. I'm keen on doing this because these cows, I think, are starting to lag my area down a little bit, and I would love to get that fixed because that is super duper annoying. Blurp, blurp, blurp. Moo, 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 moo. Moo! Where'd you go? Am I crazy? No, I had... Oh, there it is. It's like, where did I put it? I forgot. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this, and then we got to move these numbskulls over to here if I can. Now, this is going to be something that is going to be somewhat important to kind of keep note of for what we're doing right now. There will be extra stalls. The extra stalls are going to be helping us to make sure that if I need a larger production amount of some kind of fluid, which I don't foresee being a thing outside of Molten Infinity, but if I have some other fluid that I really, really would like, that we can go ahead and grab that fluid and we can quickly set up a thing where we can get a whole lot more of it. So we're gonna set this up as if there was going to be a whole other section of, cows, but we're gonna purposefully keep them empty because of the fact that I want to make sure that we have, I'm not gonna do we can do the trips, it's fine. But I wanna make sure that the cows themselves, they're set up in a way that makes sense, and that if I need to have the extra capacity for production, I can do that while also making it so it's not gonna break my brain. So that would be, I think, the good thing for us to do. Let me go ahead and pull these. Eventually I'm gonna forget that we don't have the replace item thing, and I'm gonna be building something and I'm gonna forget that it was off and start freaking out. Did I not pull it? Must not have pulled it. Yeah, didn't pull it, sure enough. All right, so we're gonna just do this a couple more times. I know I could have had more cow halters. I normally would do that, but it's only 9 of them. I figured 9 wouldn't be too bad. I would have definitely saved time had I actually done it, but it's fine. More quality time, right? Right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead, go over here. I'm really quite pumped because this thing has been on my nerves for quite some time. So I'm quite keen on getting this sorted out. All right, so there's those, and then I have to get these, and I think that's gonna be pretty good. All right, so let's start migrating these guys, and then that's gonna be it for this. And of course, whenever I rip out cows from the cow stalls, the cow stall doesn't remember what liquid it was holding, which is kind of a bummer, but at the same time, I think that's fine. I don't really think that to be much of a problem. These cows also, the ones that I'm moving right now, Liquid Death and all this, these are pretty high tier cows. The cooldown between these is pretty long. So I may have to also, those might be something I'm kind of focused on. Not something I thought about ahead of time, but certainly something that I would be kind of keen to figure out. Now these cows, I'm going to be honest here. I don't know, Molten Stellar shenanigans. I don't know what this is for. I just don't. Can I EMC the fluid pattern with it in it? Oh, it's a pattern. I'm dumb. I was like, It's that doesn't make any sense. All right, Molten Stellar. So I can make the Stellar Alloy, but I don't really know what this is for, or what this does, or what the benefit of this thing is. I don't know. I guess it's something for a capacitor and stuff. I have no clue. This does have an EMC value. I don't know if Evil does. Evil Infused. I'm actually kind of keen to see. Yeah, this also has an EMC value, so it's not, again, I don't foresee myself needing a whole ton of this, so we're going to go ahead and just X these guys out of here. Now, there are 2 particular cows that we're going to hold on to. I just realized I have strength on. Can I just one-shot? Oh, yeah, I don't need to jump up and down like an idiot. All right. So, enemy AC 133 above. We're going to go ahead and just take these cows down. Again, I just don't foresee myself requiring their particular use. And then I'm going to EMC their stuff. Those cows down there, man, I have left them be for far, far too long. All right, Ender Fluid Conduits. I will keep a stack on my person just in case. Leather, Solidified Experience, Raw Beef. Sure. Okay. And then, I don't know, well, I'll squirrel this away into this chest over here. This isn't even to talk about what's in that chest. Okay, anywho. So let's go ahead and square the rest of this up. I also never really finished making the pens for the cows because I was kind of on the fence about it, and I still am. So we're gonna leave those walls over there, that kind of stuff, the way they are right now. I know it's kind of an eyesore, but I'm still contemplating what I would like to do with it. Because on one hand, if I do need a ranch, like just have cows out in the open, that's gonna have a very different look than if I want to aesthetically just have some cows just like kind of roaming around. But these pens are too small, so I'm gonna leave them be because I don't have anything I particularly need to use them for. I could theoretically, I guess, use them for space for the 82 stuff, but I'm not gonna worry about that. There is one exception, which is gonna be this. This one I will rip up. I think, let me be very careful about the way I phrase this. I think I'm going to try to set up the cows in such a way that we're gonna use this area up for that, but it's not gonna be this design. I think we're gonna do something a little bit different, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I guess this doesn't look the worst. It doesn't look great, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Maybe this, we'll have to see. I'll have to see. All right, so these two are gonna be fine there. That's all fine there, that's all fine there. Yep, okay, so we're all good. So let's go ahead. Well, actually, tell you what, let me think this through real quick. So my original idea, so there's one of two things. I could either do it as like a weird like tube design, if that makes sense. What that will do is, well, I guess the ender fluids actually move things instantaneously, right? So maybe I could just split them up into sections and that would be okay. Maybe that's what I should do. Yeah, I think I might do that actually. Never mind. Okay, never mind. We're gonna go do it this way. We're gonna do it this way, but I'm gonna carve it up a little bit so it's not quite as nutty as this probably. We'll probably do it as fives. We'll do 5 space 5 and then roll with that. So that'll, I think, be the game plan for that. This is what, 20, right? No, that's wrong. Is that wrong? No, that's right. Okay, so there's gonna be 20 long, so yeah. So we'll do 5 and then gap down the middle and then 5 and then we'll just have that run. And then well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to poke around with it because the Molten Infinity, there's no downside of it, right? Like, I might as well have more of these cows than not. Nah, to heck with it. I'm just gonna do it like this. It's just gonna be a giant bed of cows. If I want to revisit this later, I will. I just keep looking at it, I'm like, but the most efficient way to do this is just to have it flat and in like a square shape, because that's the most I can fit into a space, you know? So, curses. Utility won out in the end. Against everyone's hopes and dreams, it won out. Can I? Yeah, I had a feeling that it would. Oh, wait. Oh, too bad they put it backwards. Rip. Okay. Well, maybe if I do it the other way around. Oh, that would simplify this placement a whole lot. Oh, it does. Oh, joy of joys. I wonder if that means that this would also work with the Ender IO tubes. Okay. I was like, there is nothing here? Question mark. All right. Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit more. All right, stall. That's far more stalls than what I could possibly need. I suppose then the first order of business is to get the Infinity cows moved. So the lag is lessened straight away. I suppose that'll be my first order of business. So let me put the cow halter in there, put the cow stalls away, and the frame walls we'll put in there as well. Hold on to the apples. Ender fluid conduit I'm going to hold on to as well. All right, so halters. Let me switch these up so these guys are all in the bottom. And then now I need to go abduct some cows. Voila. Okay, so we shall put these down. Oh yeah, that is lagging up a storm. that is lagging. I'm going to assume that the lag is from the free cows. I don't know what the impact of lag is on the stalls. I would imagine that's pretty low, but I can't be sure. Because I don't know if it's considered like an actual like, oh yeah, there's a cow in here kind of thing, because it does look at the usage time. So I'm not really sure, but I would imagine that they would have made it so it's like the whole point of this is to be a little bit less derpy. That's what I would hope. But we'll have to see. Also, rip the infinity that's in those current like conduits, because we're gonna have to rip those all out. Oh, what? What is this? Oh, it's just like really darkly lit stone. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, go through the line here. Now, with regards to the way that, well, actually, let's have a chat about this. So, in chat, I would be welcome to suggestions on this one. As far as I'm aware, the Ender fluid conduits are one of the best movement solutions for liquid, right? This is like, as an example, in competition to things like transfer nodes and stuff like that. If that is the case, is this the best thing for this? I think it is, because it's instant, right? But I'm not sure. I don't know if the scanning is like very efficient with Ender IO. Also, the setup is sort of annoying, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice if the long run, to the surprise of absolutely no one, I'm okay with sacrificing like some of the effort now for a benefit later, but I'd be curious to see if anyone has a better call here, because I think one of the problems that we're having with those, the lag here is also partially this conduit stuff. Because I think it's scanning across that huge bed of cows, and it's struggling like super duper hard. All right, so got Thomas in chat saying conduit probed, copy the presets, and then the conduits. Oh, you can do that? Like it'll change it to like redstone active, and, or not redstone, well, I guess that would also be a potential thing, but I don't know you could do that, to be honest with you. But is there anything else that anyone can think of for movement of fluid? I was looking at, there was this one thing, the dislocator, I think it's called. So that, I never really played around with it. All I remember is that was like super like colorful. And I was like, oh, maybe this is an opportunity, but it said it only works for like 1 block distances, which is not terribly helpful. So we'll have to see. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this. It looks like people are generally up for the conduits, it looks like. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this wrench and we're gonna split them up a little bit. What the heck? No, there are definitely cows supposed to be there. I don't know why you've parted like the Red Sea, but okay, I'm a little bit concerned. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and rip these all down. Or rip these all down. I'm gonna put these cows down. And then any extra infinity cows, I think we're gonna just go ahead and say goodbye to. I don't even think we're gonna attempt to collect them, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna far outstrip what we currently have the capacity to hold. And I think that this should be more than enough infinity cows. If I need more infinity cows than this, it's not something worth getting. It's, at that point, we've just entered something truly silly, or like we'll come back to this mod pack in like 10 years from now and be like, oh, we finally got enough. Because I just don't think it's a good idea to have more cows than this. It just can't be. Okay, there it goes. It's fixed again. Okay, and then, nope, still not right. Okay. I will say the one thing about the cow halter that really baffles me is that whenever you put them down, right? Like whenever you pick them up, it moves it as if you're re-picking up the item. So it's like you're dropping it and then you're like reacquiring it. I find that really strange. I admittedly find that quite odd. But either way. Alright, let's put these guys in. I think that right now it is calculating all these cows, which is sort of a problem. I can't imagine it being that big of an issue, but hopefully it will be sort of resolved by emptying out this thing. I think that this is the main thing of lag, because these are cows that are moving and all that stuff. No, that's not a cow pun. And also for the breeding thing. So we have that weird like little breeding operation. I think we're going to say goodbye to that. If I need to breed more, I will make a new thing here, and that will be perfectly fine. It shouldn't be a problem to do. But I think we can get rid of this for now, and probably will never look back. Just because I can't imagine what in the world we'd do it for. I just don't see what the point would be. Because I'm not going to breed, like if I do need to breed infinity cows, I really hope it's not going to be something of this scale, because again, it wouldn't be worth it at that point. But even if I needed to breed other cows, I can't imagine it being that demanding in terms of the breeding capacity. And also remember that infinity cows were the ones that had the super ludicrously long breed time. These ones, not so much. Or I say these ones as I'm looking at infinity cows. But like the other cows, they don't have as long of a breed time cooldown. So to do this would be a little bit overkill IMO. And I know I'm a little bit known for overkill, but hopefully this is going to be like sensible, right? Like I want this to be good. Oh man, yeah, I think those conduits are causing issues. Because I think what they're doing is they're scanning across the entire bed of conduits, and it's a whole bunch of conduits like all screaming like, I have fluid! Do you have fluid over there? Yeah, I do! Like it's probably why it's a disaster zone. Wait, okay. I was like, huh? That doesn't make sense. Okay. And there we are. Another lovely 9. This is quite a few. What? So this will be like 220 cows in this space? Something like that? So this is going to be quite a few cows, actually. We're going to have 440... Ah, yeah, the lag's starting to get a little bit better. But 440 infinity cows, I think, is plenty. I don't think we would ever need to go above this. I kind of feel bad that all I needed to have... My little voice inside that was like trying to be like, no, Choco, come on, man. Try to make this like a little bit more bearable in terms of the way that it's structured. All that it took for me to go back to the dark side was, but rectangles are the most efficient shape. Like, it's just, if you ever want to expand, you're going to lose that opportunity, Choco. Silly me. All right, put these down. Good stuff. And down we go. Pull these all up. Oh yeah, no. These like the free roaming cows were 100% the bulk of the lag. It is much better now. How did I operate this way for so long? I will save these cows because these cows have earned their keep. They have been good little moo-moos that have done good moo-moo things, and I don't think it'd be fair to let them be part of the slaughter. I know it's weird. Choco saving cows, nonsense. I may not even be able to save them all. But we're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna see if we can save some cow lives here. Make one or two less stakes than normal. All right, so let's go ahead, pull these up now. Snap-a-doodle up, snap-a-doodle up, snap-a-doodle up. And doodle. Ooh, Artie's awake. Good morning. You know, it kind of hurts my soul to think about the fact that Artie went to sleep and woke up while we were doing this particular stream session. For those of you watching on YouTube, yeah. Yep. Second episode. I can feel him judging me. I can feel his judging eyes. Oh, make it stop. Darn it. Oh, no. I'm being judged right now. So hardcore. I can just feel the disapproval. Just 3 more to go from that little cluster of them. Feels good, man. Ooh, I don't know. I might have to do the old switch-a-doodle here. Ah, no, they'll be safe. They'll be fine. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Very good. All right. Well then, cow army, to go to lead the way in the morgan's asleep. Chickens. It was not the cows, it was the chickens that did us in. The chickens were the ones that prevented us from sleep. That's it. That's a wrap. That's all of them. That's all the ones that we can muster at the moment. I mean, it's not all of them that we could. We theoretically could do more, but... Unless... That's a curious idea. I didn't even think about that, but I guess I could do this. I just had an idea, because we have a decent number of cows still left here, right? So I suppose what we could do yeah, I guess we could do that. I don't see what would be wrong with it. So, okay, here's what I'm debating. I don't think I want to layer them. I don't think I want to do that because I want to be able to easily access and whatever, so I don't think that's in the cards. But what I could theoretically do is I could go ahead and make... I don't think I want to overburden this area anymore. I don't think I want to add more cow stalls. But what I could do is I could warp away or warp to a different dimension, and I can have cows there that only will work if I load into them. That's kind of like a backup plan. Maybe. Thinking. I mean, no. Okay, never mind. No, I'm not gonna do this. I was like, yeah, maybe I could fit more of these cows in, but honestly, it is such a waste of cows, though. Is that worthwhile for me to make a separate area that's disconnected from my base that I use to load cows if I so desire? I guess what we could do is we could just machine gun them. What I mean by that is we could just get a bajillion cow halters and just save them up. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. I think that's a fair compromise. I think that's something that would make some degree of sense and also not make me want to snap my head off. So, Kind of gruesome, I know, but it's just I would lose my mind. I think if we do anything that's too crazy, I don't know. I don't know if the old Choco brain can handle it. All right, so let me go ahead, put this up there. Let me go ahead, put one above, and then we're gonna just do this, grabbing up cows as we can. All right, very good. And then throw the cow halters up. They'll all go into there, and then we can keep on going. So yes, we will do this. So cow. All right. Alrighty, so let's go ahead, grab up as many cows as we can. Okay, put more of these in. There will be eventually a cow halter or two that are going to not work because there are cows already in them. Probably the ones here. Yep, sure is shooting. All right, yep. And those will all count as infinity cows. All right, cow, cow, cow. There we go. Okay, so this way we don't waste the cows. The server impact is reduced and everything should be in much better shape, I would assume. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I would guess this is better. I don't think cow halters are considered to be like live objects or like things that actually have impact on the server, so I'm going to just assume that this is better. I don't know why it would be worse. I certainly can't imagine a world where it would be worse, but it should at least be somewhat more reasonable. I mean, it certainly feels that way. The server feels much lighter right now. It wasn't actually all that bad until the recent bout of it, too. It wasn't until, like... So I think... I might have highlighted... No, I can't remember. It was during a stream, I think. But I kind of, like, made note of, like, oh, yeah, the cows are getting a little bit rambunctious here because they hadn't started dying from crowding yet. But during that time, they weren't actually all that bad. But then I remember pointing out, like, there were the couple of feeder things over there that were actually still not empty. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just leave these be. And then we left it unattended for quite a while. And then that's whenever things went to truly just absolutely bizarre proportions. I also put these in with absolutely zero idea. Okay, that one's empty. That one is Molten Infinity. It was literally just one. It's one of them, the only one that didn't have Molten Infinity. All right, cool. So there we go. We have, what does this end up being? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's going to be 12 times 5. So there's 60 more Infinity Cows, as I would like. And then we'll just go ahead and chuck these into here. Cool. All right, so we have solved part of the issues. I'm actually going to fill this up right now because this has been somewhat of an eyesore for me, and I'm pretty eager to get rid of it. So we're going to go ahead and just, wipe these off the face of the earth. And also I can get rid of these dadgum fans. Wunderbar. All right. So let me go ahead and rip these up. Okay. And just by ripping these up, of course. This actually might also help the server a little bit. The impact should be fairly small, but it might actually help a little bit. Those are all donezo. These should be pretty easy to get rid of, these walls, because they're all kind of connected in some ways. So this should be a fairly straightforward process as well. Yeah, we just had some odds and ends to deal with. Very good. All right. We are in business. Rip these down. There should be 0 wheat in any of them. If there is wheat, I'm going to be extremely concerned. If we find wheat in any of these, I would actually be quite alarmed. That would be pretty bizarre. Because this thing has been running for... This has probably been running for over a week, actually. This has been running for quite a while. So I would have absolutely 0 idea as to how that would even be possible for it to still be running, but I've seen stranger. Okay, so let me go ahead, drop these cobblestone walls into here, drop these into here, and throw those into there, the fans into there. Good, okay, and now I can just take stone, grab a whole bunch of that. Oh, throw the levers in there, I guess. Throw those into there. And then I should just be able to just boop them on up. Yes, I'm aware that there's going to be that one random little, you know, problem, but should be okay. All right, then that's all raised up. Perfect. And then this, there we go. Awesome. Hey, we're back to normal. We're back to some level of regular shenaniganry. Beautiful. All right, so now on to the part that might break my brain. So we're gonna get the ender fluid conduits. Now you said there's something called a conduit probe. Conduit probe. In probe mode, right click on a conduit to display details about its network. In copy paste mode, shift right click to copy a conduit bundle's connection settings. Right click to paste them. Oh yeah, that sounds handy. Are you gonna be a pain to make? All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and make ourselves this probe. And let's see how it goes. We are missing a weird wrench. That's a plot twist. we had the electrical steel, but we didn't have the stone gear. Did not see that one coming. All right. Let's go ahead and learn how to make that. Pop that back out. And then electrical steel nugget. I can't imagine I would need that many of those. Okay, conduit probe. Learn how to make the conduit probe. Probe. Make. Yes, good. Go. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Now back into the cow thing. Yikes, we're almost creeping up on an hour. Good lord. Well, yeah, this should be a much faster procedure. It's still gonna take a while. All right. If there was ever a time where I was gonna be deathly afraid that we're gonna absolutely just completely screw this up, it's gonna be here. I'm gonna attempt to vein mine these tubes. We will lose some fluid, that's okay. I expect that. I'm just really hoping that this doesn't like LOL wreck us. Well, it didn't wreck us. It didn't wreck me in the way that I thought it could potentially wreck me. It wrecked me in a very creative way by not letting me vein mine these. Holy mother of goatfish, this is horrible. Wow. I am almost tempted just to take the builder block and just annihilate this whole thing. Not like the cows and stuff too, but like just the conduits. Well, I mean, I guess it's better than having all the cows go free. It is better than me having to like quickly like try to zoom around and trying to like rescue all my cows. I guess it is better than that horrible scenario. So let's go ahead and rip these all up. I mean, the tank actually probably is still sitting there just pretty full of liquid. just goes on. It just goes on and on forever. There's no stop. It just keeps going. And to think, I manually set all these. Like, you have to remember that this was not something that I was like, oh, LOL. Wouldn't it be great if like I could just like, no, I literally had manually set all of them. Is it eliminating like groups of 2? What's it doing? Is it actually eliminating group? Oh, they're probably viewed as different because of the fluid inside of them. Maybe that would make some degree of sense. Maybe that's why they're all acting funny, because there's actually like stuff updating inside of it. Maybe that's what's going on. All right, so I'll rip these all up. I guess that's one thing. Transfer pipes wouldn't have this issue. Transfer pipes I can just rip out one day and then call it a day and move on with my life. Well, then again, I wonder if the ender conduits would, because the ender conduits don't really have anything traveling inside them, right? They're just scanning the whole time. So many questions. So many questions. Not really willing to Google the answers. Let's go ahead. Oh, I thought I ripped up one of the cow pens. I was like, oh no. Okay. Done and done. I'll leave that part running. That part can run for a while longer. All right. So we ripped all that up. Let's see what the damage is. So little, yeah, we have enough conduits. All right. So we got all this. We'll throw those in there. Not that it really matters. Okay, so I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to tell it to be extract, and then always active. Just that particular one. And then I'm going to take this conduit probe. I think now we're in copy mode. Copied and pasted. So now if I check this, it is work. Oh, that's really handy. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. In order to make this not as horrific of a scanning operation, we're gonna still set them all down, and they're gonna be making all kinds of like weird issues. But we're just gonna do them in lines. I think we're just gonna do them in lines this way. This is gonna be my current game plan. I guess I could do them the other way around. That might be a little bit less burden on the server, because they'll scan even less distance. But I don't think that much would be a problem. I think if they're all connected, if I were to keep them this way, it would be a problem, but I don't think it'd be... Oh, yeah, well, there you go. I told you this would happen at some point. I was going to definitely have that happen. Okay. I'm not going to leave them all connected like this, but if I make them into straight lines, I think they should be able to find their target fairly quickly, especially because they're not moving up and down elevation. So I can't imagine that being that bad. Oh yeah, that's... As they start to scan, you can tell that it's not having a good time. It is definitely not having a good time. That killed the light? What the heck happened? Did I just drain the happiness out of an area? Am I a Dementor? What the heck just happened there? This is a feral flare. It does not care about line of sight. I'm a little confused as to what just happened, why it got super spooky dark all of a sudden. But we'll keep on going. Alright. Almost there. Fluid cow set number 1 is ready to go in terms of just having the conduits on top, which is not the entire thing, but it's a fair bit. All right, so I'm going to do plan A. So we're going to rip up these connections going from side to side. So our north-south connection I'm going to rip up. And that should help alleviate a fair bit of this. can just go ahead and go down the line here. I don't know why, but I'm absolutely terrified that I'm going to break something. And I don't think that's a possibility. But I am absolutely mortified by the prospect. Because in all honesty, even though like if we were to lose these if I were to lose all these cows right here, right now, I would be a very, very sad Choco indeed. But we can always rebuild. Like, it's not the world's worst task to rebuild this. As much as I hate to say it, it's time consuming. It will be very time consuming, and that's why I'll be very sad. But it wouldn't be like the end of the world, I don't think. I say this now, but you know, you better believe I'll be crying later on if this ever happens. What happened? What happened to my beautiful cows? It's also, whoever's the Modpack author would love if infinity cows, upon killing them, would make infinity steaks. And it would just be like an undeletable steak. Like, it would be, you can destroy it, like you can throw into lava, but as a steak, it would just, you can eat it forever and ever. That would be so cool. That would be so awesome. And also, just as a little spoiler for those of you who are still alive and watching and paying attention, we'll probably be doing a, we'll probably take a break from setting up machines next episode, if assuming that I just tank through the chickens as well. But we'll probably take a little break and make a cooking episode, a chef episode kind of thing. And what I mean by that is I'm going to probably set it up in such a way where I'm going to be able to make some of like the good foods, you know. We'll see. I might do a little bit of a test drive on that, because I am pretty keen on getting those things figured out as well. Okay, almost there. That actually alleviated so much of that. I don't know if you can tell, it got way smoother. I know I'm like kind of like stutter stepping right now, but it feels smoother. It's not quite as delayed. So yeah, Ender conduits are not very scan friendly, unfortunately. Okay. All right, awesome. So now these are all done in terms of getting the initial part done, right? So now at this point we have the question of, okay, so we have this on extract always active, this one too, but the other one's not so much. So I'm going to need to now get these all set up with their respective tanks, which should be an interesting thing. I guess as part of parcel of this, I can cut it in half. So let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I thought there was 20 slope. This must be shorter. Weird. Okay, well, in that case, then no, I'm not going to do that. Tough luck. It's an odd number. Then that's no. Then I will abide by my number scheme, and I will do what needs to be done. All right, so now I need to go up top. Paste, 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 paste. If that worked correctly, all these now should be on extract, always active. And then the cherry on top, of course. All right, put that right there. And then that'll always be inserting. And there is 19,000, as we would expect, which is perfect. I guess what I could do is I could... How many other... There's 11, right? There's 3, 6, 9, 11, yeah. Would I be willing to make it move one more over? Yes, yes, I would actually. Yeah, okay. So let me actually rip this out for a hot second here. And then what I'm going to do... Oh, rip me. All right. Tape measure. Because I am going to definitely screw this up a number of times. I just want to make sure that's there just so I remember the general thing for it. How do I want to do this? Let's do it as 3, and I'll leave 5 in the middle, and then the middle one will have it be a little bit more of a thing. Actually, no. Because it would end up being something like this. Well... yeah, actually, no. I think I actually do need to do this. Okay, so... well, it'd be helpful if I put down the one that actually was belonged here. Alright, there we go. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and slap this bad boy onto here without an insert. And then we're going to put inserts on here. And then for this one, it's going to be the only one where we're going to connect these bunches, which I think will be okay. I'm not 100% sure that this will not cause issues, but I think it'll be all right. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Alright, so let me go ahead and put this on insert. Insert. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put this. Insert. Whoops. I think that'll be all right. Then wrench. Actually, that's not true. So, I do want this to be a thing, but well, actually, no, we can. I'm trying to think right now if I want to. It would be nicer if it was just one central thing. Let's try it. If we end up experiencing like some kind of like really horrific lag or something, then I'll change this back, but I would love to have this be the way that this works. Because this would actually simplify my life a whole heck of a lot. So we have all these going in. This thing is always going to be, whoop, always active mode, insert. And this is like instant teleportation of fluid, right? There's nothing actually in those conduits. So let's go ahead and turn the rest of these on, wake them all up. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoop. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That tape measure is starting to annoy me. All right, and then just to confirm, yes is an extract always mode. That's awesome. This conduit probe is really handy. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I don't know why I'm counting these. So what I can also do is, since we know that there's 19 in a row, is I can look at the total amount of fluid in there. If it says anything besides whatever 19 times 11 is, then I know something went screwy. Which is what, like 209 or something? But that should be fine. So I'm expecting to see the number 209, I think, in there somewhere. Not right now, because I'm still putting the conduit settings everywhere. But I think all these cows should have been ready to, you know, put fluid in. I don't think they've had enough time to get another, like, preparation of fluid. So it should just be that. Also, I should be able to look, you can see on there, like, there's like a little up arrow. To spot check these shouldn't be too bad. I should just be able to look and be like, oh, that one doesn't have only an up arrow, it has up and down. And I'll know that that conduit's not the way it should be. Okay, we're almost there, guys. Granted, I do have to do this one more time, right? Yes, I missed that one. Okay, then plop along. This is really handy. I didn't know this thing existed, to be completely honest with you. This is actually extremely handy. This is quite the useful tool. Okay. And last section here, the last column as it were. Yep, we got it. And there we go, fam. All right, so 209. Perfecto. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so we have this 209 glorious, glorious Molten Infinity. Oh, man. That doesn't bring joy to your heart. I don't know what will. Maybe it's this one that has 6 million some. But, oh, feels good, man. Feels great, man. All right, we're going to rip this tank up. And then, so this guy, oh, look at all that. Wait, what's this? 21,630,303,111,168 EMC per stack. God bless. Holy mackerel. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome sauce. Oh, that looks cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, man. All right. So we'll rip this casting basin out. We'll rip this out. I mean, it shouldn't go anywhere, right? So, and before I just lost every single block. It's just forever gone now. Just, I ripped it. Just gone. Gone forever. Nope, it's all there. Beautiful. All right. Let's go ahead and set up the same thing. One more time and we'll be in good shape. I'm gonna actually see if I can builder wall on this thing. Save me some time and hassle on this particular part. The answer appears to be a distinct nope.jpg. Okay, we're in copy mode again. Okay, good. I was like, does it still remember? Not that it'd be very hard for me to like fix that, but wait a second. Some of these cows are looking backwards. Whatever, don't matter. Now that I've seen it though, I can't unsee it. It's gonna be forever a deep shame that we will forever hold. That these cows, some of them went in backwards. Oh, it is a great shame. I am ashamed of what we have done here. Oh yeah, you can see it's lagging again because we're making so many places for it to scan. Because it's frantically, each one is trying to look for a potential place to drop off whatever it has. And so it's freaking out. It's like, there's so many valid locations. 209 to be exact. And I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. And? Oh, this server, it hates me. Which is strange, because, you know, I'm trying my best to be friends with the server. I spend so much time on it, and, you know, I bring in all these fancy new toys, but it just doesn't like me. I don't know what it is. And one more row to go. What the heck? Okay. A little confused. I'm playing a dangerous game. I don't want to do that. Okay. There we go. That's all squared away and done. And then let's go ahead and cut across like so. Oops. Beautiful. Cut those connection points off. All right, and let's get to work here. So breaking all of these down. And for Infinity Cows to be set forever to reduce the server lag, this is well worth it. I know this is extremely tedious, and you might be like, why don't you just time-lapse this part? This is the kind of stuff that we're kind of left with at this point. I guess I could time-lapse it, but then, I don't know. This is kind of what the progression pack, I'm assuming, is going to turn into. I don't think it's a whole lot more of like, I could be completely wrong, because technically I haven't even touched KwehCraft or Britannia or whatever, but this is by and far going to be kind of like me wiring things and setting things up. That's going to be a very, very large part of the process here. So I hope you all are ready for that, because there's going to be a whole lot of this. Just kidding. I think there's going to be a little bit more interesting technology stuff. We will have to do something like, well, is that true? I'll say we're gonna have to do something like this again for chickens, but I don't think that's gonna be true actually, because chickens are gonna be one single point. Oh no, actually, yeah, no, that's true, because the chickens themselves are only 8 units, like in terms of there's not like this giant mass network, so it's actually pretty well self-contained as it is. So actually it should be fine. We're already over an hour. We haven't even started the chickens. Oh dear. That's all right. We'll do it. We'll do it. We will be victorious today. Today is the day that chickens and cows finally, we're gonna put the kibosh on them. We're gonna say we have finished the main part of this. I don't have to reopen this chapter, because quite seriously, after this is done, the cows and chickens, maybe I check in on them every now and again. If something breaks, obviously I have to check on them. But outside of something breaking or something really bad happening, I'm done. I shouldn't have to check on them ever again. They should be kind of self-maintaining, if that makes sense. And I don't really have a whole heck of a lot of reason to come back, because we have every single cow, we have every single kind of chicken, we have everything that we could conceivably need. So it should be as straightforward as all that. Alright, so what we got going on? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Then we're going to go ahead and just snap these all up here. So fancy. I like the fact that it's elevated. I know it's like, I know we could have made the connections underneath, but it looks so fancy. I'm easily amused. I think that's what I just discovered about myself. I am incredibly easily amused. Okay, and how's the server burden? It feels pretty good. Feels pretty all right. Okay, so now I just have to go through with the conduit probe, get all these things done. Unfortunately for these guys, I won't have as easy of a check just because of the fact that these cows have already been producing for us beforehand. And even then, it was, even when they were producing, these cows were not put down at the same time. So the timing of them are all like wacky and different. So we'll just have to kind of like, as we go along. Wait, what the heck did I just do? Oh, I skipped. But I'm gonna have to just kind of go along and sort of take a gander, make sure that everything's looking right. If I paste it again, it's the same thing. It's not like it hurts anything. So if I double down on one, it's not a big issue. The big issue is if I somehow miss one, then, well, even then, I don't know if I would consider it to be a big issue, but eventually I'll notice, hopefully, that one of the cow tanks is super duper full. But then again, I don't know if I'll be coming back here all that often, so maybe not. Maybe it's all going to be for naught. Okay. And we got a lot of good stuff coming here. Wunderbar. Awesome. Okay. Home stretch here. We're over the halfway mark. So we only have, after this row, 4 more to go. I'm really nervous, by the way, if you're wondering, I'm just like not just spam right clicking. I'm very, very nervous that I'm going to miss one. So I'm trying to be very purposeful about like, hit this here, do this now, that kind of thing. Cool. All right, so all that should now be rocking and rolling. I have zero idea about everything else, but it looks right. It looks like everything is all set up. So this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty nice. Pretty content with that. That's pretty cool. All right, anywho, so that's not it, of course. We have some other things that we got to be doing. These cows themselves are also going to require their own... Oh, actually, I never even set up these tubes over here. What am I doing? What am I doing? I didn't even set these ones up. These guys are just out here without conduits. They're conduitless. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable behavior for... Whoops. Well, that's also not acceptable. That's not acceptable for these. I know these are empty again. We're doing this in case I do need to do like some weird focused stuff. Let me wrench them apart. Admittedly, I doubt that I'll actually care about them being wrenched apart if I do need to use them, because I'll probably be like, oh, I need to dump like 10 cows in one spot and then just all start draining, but it is what it is. All right, and then we're gonna set these all to extract only and always on. So they're always pulling. And then we guess we'll run through and do all those first. I'm just gonna take care of all this now. Because this way I can see the effect of the work and just do all the tanks at once. And you know what? I'm gonna have to make this a two-parter. There's no way. There's just no way that we're gonna be able to finish this in a reasonable time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep on going, right? And we will get this to the point where we're just about ready to set this up to the 82. I think that'll be the game plan here, because this admittedly it's quite a bit of me running around doing all this stuff. Well, actually, nah, we'll bundle it together. We'll persevere. We'll keep it going. And the reason why I say that is because the AE2 stuff, I could, again, if I'm wrong about this is going to be a ridiculously long episode. But I've been wrong about all of them so far, but I got to be right sometime, right? But we're gonna try to set the AE2 thing. I don't think that should be all that bad. The AE2 stuff, if I can do it correctly, should actually be pretty straightforward. Okay. All right. And now we set up these guys up top. So each one gets their own tank. And I do want them to be centered. And then I actually, whoops. Well, I was doing so well, so very well until it was not. All right. Oh, what is inside? Molten End? What are you? You're molten steel. That's not what I want. I guess they're depositing the liquid anyways, even though I'm not really wanting them to, but. Yeah, I mean, they drained them all. I guess I don't need to... Yeah, I guess I don't need to do the insert thing at all. It's just going to automatically do it, so just whenever I place them down, that's it. Yep, there they go. Oh, crap. Oh, please tell me you got... Okay, good. That was not divided. That was kind of scary. Okay, cool. Good stuff. So I will need to take account of all these tanks because this is going to change up a couple things for us. But again, this should be pretty straightforward because this is going to be just all sub-networks, right? So this is just going to, well, rip. So this is just going to be a matter of I need to have this handle its own storage through these things. I just need to be able to tell the main system, hey, by the way, this is what we got going on. That's all I should need to do. But we shall see, because I have not actually messed with fluids before with ME2 or AE2 rather. So I'll be curious to see how that works. There is a small chance that this may not work the way I want it to. And if that's the case, then I'll have to make some general adjustments here. Okay, good deal. All right, there we go. The manliest sound I could make in that moment. And done. All right, cool. Whew. That was so many. All right. So we got ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So it's 6 per thing of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 36. And then 3 on the ends, but 6 per section, I guess. So another 2, 4, 6, 8. So 48 plus 36. Just quickly write that down because I am certainly going to not remember this. 84? Question mark? So 84 of those. Oh, So then what is this? 6, 12, 22. 22 is fine. 22 I can work with. More than that, not so much. All right, so we're gonna have these going here. This one's actually quite straightforward. Yeah, because I think it should work just fine. All right, so this all is set up now. So the collection is set up. Tell you what, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the chicken side now, and then we'll see how we're doing. I think that'll be a fair way to do this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set up the A2 stuff. I'm gonna set up the chicken side, make sure that the chicken side is all looking pretty bright and ready to go. And then depending upon how we're doing on the chicken side, I don't think it will take me a lot of time. But if it does take me a lot of time, I will then be able to adjust as I need. So Ender Conduit, Conduit, question mark. The heck is a dense? What? What the heck is this? Oh, that's crazy. Do they have it so... I'm not going to mess with this because I don't want to mess around with how this all works, but either way, kind of neat. Item conduit. I don't know if an item conduit is instantaneous. I guess it doesn't matter. Ender conduits have always done well by us for chickens because the chickens don't outstrip the production of an ender conduit, or at least not that I've seen, but I suppose there can be a first for everything. All right, so let's get some item conduits up in here. With the probe, this should also not be quite a... I'm gonna need more than that. But with a probe, this should actually go even faster, hopefully. Oh, right. Before I do that part, I do need to do one other thing, which I completely forgot about, which is not a good sign. Maybe I'm getting a little bit sleepy. I don't know. Potentially possible, I suppose. All right, so I need to put yield barrel here, yield barrel here, and we need to do that everywhere. If I was a smart man, I probably... Oh, wait. Do I want them all facing forward? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Dang it. Grr. Because that means I have to be all, like, meticulous about them. Grr. Oh, the absorption hoppers are eating them up, aren't they? Oh, no, that one didn't. Weird. I don't know. Yeah, so some people in Twitch chat, for those of you on YouTube, because you can't see that, some people in Twitch chat are recommending I do roost collectors. The problem I have with roost collectors is that they are an additional step that actually kind of impedes what I'm trying to do. Also, I've heard stories about roost collectors not being the most reliable. I don't know, like, what degree of truth is in that statement, but that if that is the case, I really, really don't want to mess with that a whole lot. Because, yeah, that would be very bad. If it didn't work right, that would be extremely, extremely bad. Oh, actually. Okay, I want to keep on going with way I can make that work, but I don't know if spatially that makes sense to me anymore. I admittedly had a pretty different idea for how the chickens were going to function in terms of the AE2 part whenever I first made this idea in my head. So we will see. I think it'll be okay. Should be okay. There are some definite weird things that we can mess with here if I really need to. Admittedly, I'd prefer not to have that be the case, but I suppose it'll be okay. I don't know. We'll have to see. Sorry, I know you guys are like, what are you talking about, Chogo? Stop babbling to yourself. But this is how I work. This is how my brain operates. It's not effective, but it will work eventually, maybe, possibly. I don't know. That's what I hope for every day. I wake up in the morning, I just go, please let my brain make not horrible decisions today. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, the dip. Alrighty. Then we just had to get the conduits going. Yeah, this is actually going to be interesting to see how I'm going to be doing this as AE2. Because this is actually going to run into a problem, I think. But I will have to see. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. It might be okay. I'm not sure if... So, okay, so I guess I might as well explain this while I'm doing this so you guys are kind of with me on it. But what I'm wondering right now is I need this to interact with a storage bus. I don't know if the storage bus is considered to be flat enough to actually allow me to put one on each of these barrels from the top or bottom. If that's not possible, that's actually okay. All I need to do is I need to just kind of drill a hole upwards or downwards, and I can connect it that way, which wouldn't be that awful, but not ideal. So we'll have to see. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the last of these item barrels down. All right. And there it is. All right. So, all the item barrels are now down. And this is going to basically be the same exact idea behind what we did with the cows, except for this one, these guys actually have an infinite capacity. So, you do the math. Which one's better? But this should be fairly straightforward now as well. So, let me go ahead and just bless all these barrels with infiniteness. How many of these are there? There's 119. So 119, I would expect to have 9 left. Something like that. Yeah, because I can't double down or do anything strange. Alright, so let's go spooky ghost around. Beautiful. Excellent. Wunderbar. And we'll just spooky ghost this thing around. Get the conduits going in a little bit here. And then... this is going to be a 2-hour episode. Easy. This is going to be a long freaking episode. That's okay. That's alright. I know some of you guys really like these longer episodes, so we'll leave it all there. This will be one of those episodes where it just goes for a while, and you get to watch my slow descent into madness and insanity. Okay. Almost there. I mean, I say we're almost there, but we're almost done with the upgrades. Should just be the conduits left. And then, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and tack on AE2. Let's just get this all done once and for all. Oh, 9 left. Perfect. So now we go on to the lovely and totally not tedious task of doing this. Now, the actual issue slash thing that's gonna be time consuming about this is that I can't just right click on them. I have to crouch click. So, not exactly the... Oh, you know what? It didn't matter what way I put the barrel down. I can't see the stupid image anyway. Aw, man. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Alrighty. And we'll put these down. Oh yeah, this is gonna be the part that takes time. Because this isn't even like, I can't just like LOL mindlessly do this. I actually have to be kind of like paying attention sort of what I'm doing. Well, I guess we could just like typewriter the thing. It's kind of a tough sell. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I mean, on one hand, right, it's a little bit less like me having to carefully hug around each block, but I don't know if it's that much better of an improvement. Well, yeah, whatever. We'll just do it. Less complaining, more doing. Put these all down. Okay. Hop on over. Whoops. One is not like the others. Okay. Almost there. One row done of 6. Dadgummit. Oh, that hurts my soul. I mean, I guess I could just do it this way. Just leave that one out there. I probably could even get that one if I was willing to like try to aim. But you know, choke on aiming, not really a thing. See, as evidenced by this, case in point, not even trying to make a point, but I can create my own evidence on the fly. Some people have to try to miss as badly as I do. Sometimes, cry every time. Just want to be like the other kids. Just want to be able to click on their head's forehead. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We didn't even do the bottom ones. Do I ever wish that there was an easier way to do this? I actually think if I was really, like, if I had thought this out and planned this out way ahead of time, I probably could use a builder card, to be completely honest with you. It probably would work. All I would need to do is I would have to go ahead and just put the builder down and then just make sure that there were blocks that were interfering with the spots that I don't want the ender conduits to go, and then do it that way. But it will. And then I also have to conduit all these, or conduit all these. I have to probe all these. So that is going to be another additional problemo. I tell you what, this part I think we can time lapse because this is going to just be a lot of tedium. That's not going to add a whole lot. So here we go. All right, so I had all this gusto. I was like, yes, we're gonna do everything. We're gonna do the AE2. We're gonna do all this stuff today. This took me far longer than what I bargained for. I did not realize that this was gonna take me that long. The chickens took some time because I had to individually tell each thing to do a certain thing, and it was hard looking. I know it sounds stupid, but like looking up and down was kind of just painful. It just took a while. So I think we're gonna have to go ahead and say that we just did a setup, and we're gonna have to do a part 2 of this thing because no way, no how are we doing the AE2 stuff today? Because if it doesn't work on first try, I'll probably just explode. But it involves a couple of different things and new mechanics and stuff. So I think I'm gonna leave it to another episode. But anyways, so this will be what, like I guess this is part 2 actually already. But we had part 1, which was setting up all the chickens, getting them all ready. Part 2, which was now setting up all the different storage things and stuff like that. And then we now have the third part coming up, which is going to be now creating the subsystem for AE2, hooking that system up, and getting all that rocking and rolling. Oh, I never realized. Hold on. But yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead and say that's going to be the thing, because we are on hour 12 of the stream. And as hilarious as that is, I think that we're going to go ahead and say that that's good for now. Yeah, we're at 12 hours, 7 minutes, and depending upon which counter I guess you're looking at, a handful of seconds. We'll just call it that. So, anywho, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all are excited and enjoying kind of where this is going. So neat. Oh, well, I'm not gonna, I guess we won't worry about making the blocks just yet. We'll have to see. But we'll go ahead and see what goes on with all this later on. But at least now, right, we're not wasting anything. A lot of this stuff was not really doing a whole lot of anything. Like, a lot of these liquids were obviously just sitting here capped on each stall. That's no longer the case. They're all going somewhere, so all the liquids doing something or another. The other part of this that's also really handy, of course, is that not only is that true for the cows, but it's also true for the chickens now, because a lot of these guys just sat in roosts and they never really did much of anything. Only a handful of them had like the privilege of having their particular thing. Oh crap, I forgot to set these up. I'm trying to think. Okay. Oh god. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip the redstone out. I'm going to rip the silicon out. And I'm going to have to hunt down in this giant mess. So I need redstone and silicon. So it's between purple and snowball. Silicon is down here between signal and solarium. So it should be oh, wait, hold on. It should be here. Yeah, there it is. Just put this here. I think I'm just going to take the L. I don't think I'm going to try to process it. I mean, I probably could, but I just don't see the purpose of doing that because we have so much of the darn thing. It has such a head start, and also the silicon, there's almost zero chance that I'm going to end up using that much silicon. Just because of the virtue of like how much other junk that we have. Where is Signalin? There it is. So there's silicon. Well, at least we know that the organization system works like decently well for me. I could drain it, but we'll just go ahead and head off. Anyways, I hope you all did enjoy this episode. I hope you're looking forward to the next episode. Of course, again, like I said, we're going to get the AE2 system hopefully up and running. This is not exactly what we would have liked to have seen in terms of... What in the world? You can't? Huh? Oh, okay. You can ender IO or you can EMC it as long as it's in the right mode. I got so worried. I was like, wait, what? Why is that not working? All right. Anywho, but yeah. So next time game plan will be be getting A2 going. The cows are straightforward. This one might get kind of weird. I think I know what's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of like tinkering around just to make sure that what I am hoping to do will work. But outside of that, it should be pretty... If this isn't like a good setup, what I can do is we can poke a hole the other way through. So we can have it so it goes from here downwards and there upwards. I would prefer not to do that, but that's certainly a doable thing. And yeah, in terms of the way that this will all work, this part I know is going to for sure be set up in a pretty ME friendly way, in that each of these like little subsections I made is 8, which is exactly the number of channels. The only one that obviously will not adhere to that is this middle part, but I should just be able to give that one channel, or I guess it would be 7 channels, but we can go ahead and have these 7 buses working for me, so should be a-okay. But we'll get all that stuff squared away next time, and we'll try to figure out what's happening with everything. But yeah, so we'll see what's going to end up going on and what's happening. But yeah, that's all. So if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. If you'd like to get notifications, hit the bell whenever you hit subscribe, and I think that's it. So most importantly, and as always, take care of yourselves, have a wonderful safe day, and ciao for now.